Everyone, we'll be with you in a few minutes.
We have a bit of an unplanned visitor who's normally fast asleep in bed, being cheeky.
But not quite yet.
So, want to say hi, Beatrice? Say, I'm really sleepy and it's time for bed.
I'm really sleepy and it's time for bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat your cracker up then.
While they're doing some stuff, I've got to do some other bits and pieces.
What a cheeky monkey you are. Hmm?
I'm dying for water.
You're dying for water.
For a humongous one.
Have a little
Humongous.
No, not a humongous one. Just a little bit. That's enough. Otherwise I have an accident. Let's go. Eat that cracker up. It's bedtime. I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I'm going to be putting you to bed now, aren't we, little bean? Sarah says hi. Do you remember Jeff and Sarah when they used to come round for dance classes? You say hi, Bean. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Teresa. Do you remember Teresa? Oh, put me in the face. I'm going to go and deposit you to your bed now. That's a good pouty face you have.
It is. Right, so I'm afraid you're going to be, hello everybody, I'm afraid you're going to be stuck with me for a couple of minutes doing some other stuff while Zoe gets Beatrice to bed. So Beatrice, can you say goodbye to everybody?
She's just finishing her cracker. Grandad says hi. Can you say hi, Grandad?
Hi, Grandad.
Yeah, we love the fact that everybody's saying hi to Beatrice and not to us.
She's much cuter, aren't you?
Yeah, thanks for that. So literally every single comment, I hope you can see them, is hi Beatrice, which is
Grandad says he loves you.
Right.
Eat your cracker up.
Okay, so while we're still waiting for that, I'm going to start off on the polls of today. We've got 2 polls for you today, okay, which are very interactive. They apply to everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to run those through for you. Okay, so the 2 polls that we have, I'm going to publish them now. Okay, the first one, as a man, what do you prefer to wear as underwear, pants, stroke Calvins, or boxers? Okay, so that is the first poll.
Calvins can be boxers too. I don't get that. Why are pants Calvins?
They're traditionally they're known as Calvins. Not Y fronts, so we're not having Y fronts. Okay, so kind of pants
like
or boxers. No, we're leaving it at that. Okay, the second one, as a lady, what do you prefer to wear as underwear? I asked Zoe's opinion on this. She said G-string or fat pants. Okay, so they are your 2 polls that we have for you tonight. Okay, so we've got, as a man, what do you prefer to wear as underwear? And as a lady, what do you prefer to wear as underwear? We will give you the answers to the polls as we go forward.
Okay? Do you know where this one came from? Anyway, don't forget, Dance in Your Pants is giving you lots of new videos every day to learn in your home, and it's for a fantastic cause. It's to support all the franchisees across the network who have, gone out of business and literally haven't got any income. So you can go to Sirroc.com/fund, I think it is, and the Sirroc.com fund is there if you feel able and willing to contribute to support the franchisees. That's great.
Indeed, and the teachers as well.
And the teachers, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
not too much.
Do go to that.
You'll have an accident or not.
We've done a number of live things recently. We had Dot's caking thing. I was going to say bake along with cake. Bake along with cake. Bake along with Dots. That's what we had. And we also had Zoe's live ladies styling Zoom class as well. We have updates for you on both.
So Dot is going to be doing another baking challenge. Whoop, whoop. Somebody's very excited about that because you ate the cake last time, didn't you? And we're going to do that on Monday, the 11th of May. So that's in 2 Mondays' time. And we're going to put a poll in Sirroc Live and Dance as to which of Dot's infamous tea dance cakes you would like to learn how to cook. So watch out soon for the 3 cake choices, and we will be baking the one that gets the most popular vote.
Indeed so.
What of Dot's cake do you like, Bea? You like chocolate cake, do you?
Lovely. Thanks for that. Just very quickly, one of the I wanted to put in as a poll about what if you don't wear any underwear, and I was vetoed on that. I'd like to point out. So Steve Stokes has asked, what happens if you go commando?
Say bye, everybody.
Say bye to Bea.
Bye. Bye. I'm
Oh,
sleepy.
she's gone shy all of a sudden. But there we go.
Come on.
Right. I don't know if I can. I can. Lovely. Right. So you're stuck with me, I'm afraid, for a couple of minutes. She's pretty good at going to bed, so hopefully she'll go to bed very, very well. I'll give the quick update on the Ultimate Dance Track World Cup then while we're here. So we are now at the semi-final stage. We have our first finalist, which was Dance Monkey. Okay, so that beat New Rules by Dua Lipa, reasonably convincing. Today's semi-final is Havana by Camila Cabello versus John Mayer's Free Falling. So do vote for those. Last time I looked, Havana was just in the lead. It will be closed tomorrow early evening, and it will then be the final, which will be the last day of Dance World Cup, the Dance Track World Cup. Okay, so that is taking place today, tomorrow, and then it will be done. We'll have our Ultimate Dance Track World Cup champion, which will be either Havana Free Falling, whichever of those two wins, and also Dance Monkey. Okay, so just to let you know those two bits and pieces there. We had Zoe's styling class taking place last Monday. We had lots of people on it. Well, it was good fun. I think everybody really enjoyed it. The question I've had asked from a number of people is that if you are a couple, that's great. If you're a lady, that's great. You've done your styling stuff. As a man, can we do some styling classes as well? So the question that I've got for everybody is, would you like me to run a male styling class for 40 minutes or so? It'll be done via Zoom the same way as we did it before. So if you do want that to happen, then yes, please do feel free to post on this or however you want to do that. So yeah, that'll be fine. If you can say about that bit there.
That bit there.
That bit there.
So yeah, I had a fantastic styling class on Monday. So thank you to all those ladies who joined me. We had a really fun time in the garage. And blimey, I didn't realise how out of fit I had got. So out of shape even I'd got. So yeah, it was brilliant for just £4. We did like an hour's class. It was going to be 45 minutes. We got a bit carried away because we were having so much fun. And we did all about shoulders and how you can move your shoulders, that sort of thing. Next time, I think we're going to do sort of hips with maybe a bit of arms. So I'm going to run another one in a couple of weeks' time.
When will it be?
Monday, the 18th of May. Dun, dun, dun. Date for your diary. So yeah, please do support that one if you can. That would be fantastic. And yeah, ladies, let me know if there's anything you particularly would like to cover, because I'm sure there's a third and a fourth class as well. So I should try and do as much as I can to keep us all dancing and to keep us all fit while we are in lockdown.
Oh, hang on, I'm just trying to get the
poll up.
Trying to get the polls up so you can actually see
I want to
how
be able
things
to
are
vote.
going. Oh, there we go. We've got some polls coming up now, so and they're going to flick through. Hopefully you can see them as well as we can. I don't know.
I don't know how many men have voted, but it's pretty much conclusive on pants.
Well, it's 100% to 0 at the moment, pants to boxers. So
yeah, but how much is 100%? 2
all
people?
of them. Well, it could be one person against none. Yeah, there you go.
What's so special about pants then?
Are we actually going down this? Are we actually going down this road?
Don't answer that, actually. Don't answer that.
I could answer if you.
Well, go on if you want.
Well, for those that wear pants, and that would, I used to wear boxers actually. I haven't worn boxers because I do a lot of sport. You don't necessarily want things.
Okay. First of all, that is not representative of what's happening down there. And second of all, I'm not sure it wafts up like that, like some piece of seaweed.
I don't want to stand up and do that, do I? It's not an elephant's trunk, for crying out loud.
Well, the way you were swinging your arm around, you would have thought.
Well, you can only.
Anyway.
Moving swiftly on. So what about
me.
yourself then? Are you fat pants or jeans? We're
I
going
am
down there.
definitely a thong to thong.
Thong, 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 thong. Lovely.
Yeah,
Well, there you go. There's details that you may
I
wish
thought
to
you
have
would
not
never
known.
know about us.
And now you do.
What's going on there?
Last part before we get on to the questions is our Patreon online class. We've got loads of new patrons. Thank you everybody that's joined so far. For those that don't know, we're running weekly classes online. So you can have access to those classes. There's 4 different levels of them. The cheapest one's the £10 one, where you get 1 intermediate class per week. You'll get a notification about when the new class comes up online. And they're there for you to use as much as you want. It's not done live or anything like that, so you can use it as much as you want. Fast forward, rewind, and all of that type of stuff. The higher grades have more intermediate classes and more advanced moves as well. So if you want to get some good advanced moves, and there's also some speciality classes in there too. The top level, it even includes a video clinic from myself and Zoe. Okay, so if you want to go to that, it's patreon.com/Richard and Zoe. You can use it as long as you want. You can cancel it whenever you want. Somebody asked me the other day, if I sign up, does that mean that, a bit like a gym membership, I have to sign up for a year? No, you
That'd be
can.
really nice. Yes, definitely.
You can sign up for as long or as short as you wish. Okay, so that is patreon.com/Richard and Zoe. Loads of good classes on there, so that'd be grand. Yes, and what it does do. Sorry, the other part of Patreon. The reason we've done it is that obviously I've managed to get myself a small job to kind of keep myself going a little bit. However, it does seem like we're going to be out of action for quite a long time yet. So my aim, of course, is to get back to dancing as soon as possible. And with the help of things like Patreon and the small job that I've got, it means that I'm hopefully don't have to try and go and find another job, because the danger that I have is that if things run out, for instance, then I have to go and get another job, a proper job, one that I'm used to be qualified for. And therefore I might not get back to dancing as soon as I would like to. So things like having Patreon will enable me to start up as soon as we can. So that's the aim.
And the other aim is all about you, really. It's to keep you dancing in your own house. So, I mean, even if you don't have a partner to dance with, you can still sort of watch and go through the classes and remind yourself of the moves and keep them front of mind. So, yeah.
Every week we have questions about what are we drinking, and this week we have decided to make this a wine cast. Hello. So I've gone for red again, and Zoe's gone for white, and yeah, so it's not one of the days when we're not drinking, which is getting fewer and fewer. We started off by just drinking at the weekends, and then it's kind of moving on.
Peaks and troughs, I think.
Peaks and troughs. Right, first question then from the public, as they say, okay? And that is, what have you had to say no to this week? Which I thought was a really interesting question. The main thing that I've had to say no to this week was for Zoe, who was trying to be incredibly persuasive about cutting my hair.
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to get quite long now. It's if I take my glasses off, it's starting to drift over the ears, and as an ex-military person, I've struggled with that.
But the funniest thing is that the only thing we have in the house that is even resembling a pair of clippers is designed for ladies down below. So I was desperate to get it on Richard's sideburns just to test it out, but for some reason he was objecting. I can't think what that reason would be.
Knowing where they've been.
I don't even use them anymore.
And there again is more details than I think you could ever possibly
They've been
want.
in the drawer for years. But what is your hairstyle dilemma? That's what we want to know. I mean, mine is going to be disastrous. I've got my roots growing out.
I've got no roots from my
like
home.
A tawny owl. What's those owls that have like tufts by their ears? As my cut grows out, I get all these tufty bits. So I'm going to be looking like a tufty owl head. What's your haircut dramas? Sarah's cut Joseph and Stephen's hair with clippers and scissors. Oh, any tips, Sarah? Any tips for us? Fringe, yeah. Have you cut your fringe? I used to be able to cut my fringe, okay. Not just straight across, but I've got thinning scissors as well. That was the other thing I wanted to get hold of him with, is my thinning scissors. So I thought if I just thinned it out a bit, it might help. But any hairdressers out there that could give me some tips on how to cut Richard's hair without like wedging it in 2 stages, then he might let me have a go.
No. Well, I've said that if she has a go at my hair, I get to go at hers. Not with my fingers. I'm
Not in
just
a million years. Mine's
emphasising
just going to
scissors.
go organically longer.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
until Nathan's available again, my hairdresser.
Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Come back.
Come back, we miss you.
Indeed. So, question there. Hey, I used to dance for 20 years and did Le Rock, so I've stopped to carry on with my running. So basically, if I decided to go back, do you think I would still remember my dance moves? It's Jazzy. Hello, Jazzy. Yeah, it's a question that kind of a number of people asked of how they feel about the fact that when they get back, which could be 2 months, could be 12 months, who knows, how much you're actually going to be able to remember. And that will be difficult. And without wishing to sound like a corporate machine, don't forget you can log on to patreon.com/Richard and Zoe, and that will help you remember some things if you want to. Do some styling class we've got coming up. But yeah, the main thing, I think everybody's going to be in the same boat. This isn't that you've gone away on holiday for a couple of weeks and nobody else has. We've all not been dancing as much as we should be.
But it's like riding a bike, right? Once you get going and you've had a few goes, yeah, you might be a bit out of breath, as I found teaching the ladies styling workshop on Monday, but it'll soon come flooding back to you. So I'm sure we'll all be fine.
Yeah. Come to
Richard
classes.
Chandler, please send us a picture. I'm dying to see your
Yeah.
lockdown hair.
So he says, for the first time in my life, I clipped my own hair. It didn't go well. So just being in lockdown is just as well.
I think we should all send our lockdown haircuts to Richard, and then we can do a Ciroc Live, Ciroc Dance haircut crisis picture. So if anybody has got any funny hairdressing shots, I'll send you ours when I manage to convince Richard to let me cut his hair.
Sorry, I'm just doing some admin. Be with you. Right. Okay, so next question that we have. This was from the lovely Kate Burton down in Ciroc, Devon. I hope you're doing well down there. If you had to pick one song to dance to for the rest of your life, what would you choose? And again, we'd love to open that up to everybody else. So what would be your choice that you would choose if you had one song to dance to? Okay, or one song to dance to for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Mrs. B? You've been reading, no idea what I've just been saying.
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat.
So as you can hear, Zoe is a much better dancer than she is a singer. That is very true.
Somebody who loves me.
So Zoe has chosen Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody. Personally, when I read that, the first thing that came to my mind is our first dance song. So that's what I was thinking of. Now, I'm not actually going to tell you what our first dance song is.
Half of them probably know.
Well, you can look it up on YouTube if you want. But the reason for that is that it's currently losing in the second semi-final at the moment, and I can't vote myself, and I don't want to influence the votes. Okay, but so yeah, Free Falling by John Mayer was our first dance. We didn't even choreograph anything, so it was one of the strangest things that people said, "Oh, what's your first dance going to be?" And we just came up with a track a few days before.
No, I couldn't do it the pressure with wine and everything else, so we just chilled out with it, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was nice.
It was lovely and available on my YouTube channel if you want to have a look. So yeah, we'd love to hear what your favourite song is, or one song would be that you would dance to if you could only dance to one.
Memories
song. From
Maroon 5 for Laura.
Oh yeah, nice track.
Dancing in the Moonlight, Top Loader. No, Nicola.
Are you saying? Remember, music is.
Dancing in the Moonlight.
Are you just going to sing now every time there's a song coming up?
No, because my singing voice is dreadful.
Yeah.
Come up and see me.
Oh, she
Let me
is.
smile. Yes, Desmond.
Have you finished it?
I think I've had a bit too much wine. I've only had like this much.
Yeah. So Mandy says, I love the song Come Together, Michael Jackson's version. This is my dance in my pants song. Would you be able to use this or a version of it when we come back? I used to play it actually a number of years ago, but it's actually really quite slow. Even for chill out, it's really quite slow. So it's quite a tricky one to dance to. So that's why we generally don't play it.
See, Mark likes my singing. You
So
said
we
I
should-
should sing every time a song is typed.
All right. Okay. So Come Together by it's originally by the Beatles.
I don't know that one. Do I?
Come together
Oh,
right
now,
over me.
over me.
So as you can hear, Zoe just chooses any notes in any order and just hopes that the words are
Hang on a
somewhere
minute.
close.
It's a lump. We'll just get rid of Richard. Who needs him anyway?
That's often been said. But let's move on. All right.
Wheelie chair fun.
Yeah.
That leads us in quite nicely to the question about furniture.
Oh, okay. We're jumping there. Right?
As I just said, wheelie chair fun.
Oh, go on then. So this was by the lovely Alex Challen who's posted this question. She's not viewing at the moment. She's putting her son to bed. Okay.
Oh, Alex.
I know, outrageous. Okay, so she said, if you could be a piece of furniture, what would you be and why? The person who sent this, oh, I shan't say that. She gave us hers, which is very nice. But so yeah, if you could be a piece of furniture, what would you be and why?
So
Mrs.
Richard
Gibb.
has spent the entire evening coming up with very unfunny versions. I
So-
don't actually know what his genuine answer is anymore because he's just come up with loads.
So
of...
are you ready for the terrible puns coming up here? So I could be a fridge because I'm cool. I could be a fire because I'm hot.
Oh,
I could be a bed because I like to be laid.
on. That doesn't make sense, but yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Oh
There
dear.
was other ones as well which were equally as terrible. if
Whereas
I'm
I
honest
was
with you.
taking this question
hang
in
on.
the spirit in which it was intended.
I could be a TV because I'd like somebody to turn me on every day.
Oh, I just think he's so funny. I took this question very seriously and thought I would like to be a picture frame because I would hold lots of memories close to my heart. Oh, don't spit your wine out, revolting man.
Haven't heard that
What
one.
was your genuine one then after you got through all of the...
I'd like to be a sofa, I think, because I like
Oh,
to
would
sit
you like to
down.
be sat on? That's just wrong.
Well, let's move on from that.
Anybody else like a particular piece of furniture to be? I'm not sure that Alex was envisaging this when she put the question forward
I don't
to
think so. No, not indeed. Right, we've actually got a dancing question, which is I'm going to let Zoe answer. Okay, I'm going to do a few more technical things while she answers this question. She'll be able to stand up and show it, hopefully. So, what is spotting and why should I do it? This is to do with spinning, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's to do with spinning so that you don't get dizzy. So I need to see the screen. No, it's not helpful if I'm demonstrating something.
sorry.
You move the screen.
I've just realised. I've just
Sorry,
realised
like
why,
marital a moment.
why the underwear one stayed at 100% for pants, and that's because when I showed it, I shut the poll. So I do apologise for that.
So men, you'll have to get voting again.
Yeah, please do. Both are active. Lovely. Okay.
So spotting is when you go to spin. I'm going to do it sat down so you can see me. So when you're spinning multiple times, if you just turn, or I don't know if you can.
I can turn it for you.
If you just turn like this, with your head going round with you, when you come up, you're going to be really, oh, baby monitor, really giddy. So instead of getting really dizzy, what you need to do is when you're spinning, or when you're going to go and do your spin, is you leave your head right to the very last minute, and then you whip it back round to the front again, so that your eyes are fixed on the spot at the front. You whip it back round again. It's really hard when you're in your slippers. So it's basically to make sure that you don't get dizzy. So to practice this, you can practice spotting in your direction of travel down like a slot and just keep looking the way you're going. So as you step onto your right foot, you bring your feet together, you keep looking, you keep looking, you keep looking as you turn, and you whip your head back round again. And then you step on one foot, bring the other foot together as you turn, and you just keep looking the way you're going and keep, got a hair in my mouth, sorry, keep whipping your head round, and then you'll get much better at spinning. And if I was going to be dancing with Richard, he's going to jump up.
Oh,
It's getting too comfortable there.
I
I'll take my
was.
slippers off. So if he's going to do a
oh,
spin,
sorry.
if he's going to do a spin, then I would look in my direction of travel, and then I would whip my head back round, and then I focus back on Richard. Or if he's going to spin me on the spot, I would look at Richard and continue to look at Richard the whole time, so that I don't lose my balance, basically. Put my slippers back on.
There you go. So if you see a lady chap staring at you while they're spinning and you think you're in there, it's not the case. They're just using you for spotting purposes.
Yeah, and it'll help you spin much easier without getting giddy.
I've just realised, by the way, that it looks like we've got two entrances into this room. We
much prefer that option rather than just a random spare door planted against our wall.
we had our kitchen redone a while ago, and this was the spare door that came out of the.
Anybody
wall.
need a door?
Got a door for sale.
Got a door for if you need one.
Anywho, right, here's.
Oh, I'm getting all warm now.
Oh, I thought you were going to strip then.
I'm going to take my jumper off.
Oh.
It's not stripping.
Okay. Exciting times. Right. And again, this is a question for everybody, okay? Some of us have had lots of extra time, or some of you, I should say. We haven't, okay? Some have had lots of extra time to learn new skills and all of that type of thing. So what is the best, most useful thing that you've learned so far in lockdown? Now, for me personally, I'm the designated shopper. I think we've discussed this before in previous weeks, okay? I'm the designated shopper. And one of the things that really irritated me all the time was never finding out about where all the carrier bags are. So some of you will have seen this, but this is the how to store your carrier bags.
My
Okay?
glasses on, just shooting.
And genuinely, it's the most exciting thing ever for me, in that it meant that all of my carrier bags ended up in one Tesco. Everything helps. Okay, it ended up in one place, and it's very simple to do. So all you do, lay it flat, fold a third, fold another third,
Very
fold it
excited by
across,
this.
fold it across, diamond, diamond, flip the thing over, and there it is.
So now
Genuinely,
every carrier bag in our house has to be folded in this fashion after shopping.
it's the most exciting thing I've done.
Richard, don't tell him not to cut his own hair because I'm desperately wanting to do that.
Mm,
Surely there's a hairdresser out there that can give me some good tips
hopefully.
on how to do it. Zzz.
You
It's
finish?
pink. I'm going to zzz you with the pink lady strimmer.
She's not.
I am.
So next week, if you see that there is just me here, that's because I've binned her. It really is. Right, next dancing question then. What is frame and why is it important? Now in dancing, there are two types of frames generally that we have. One of the frames is being in ballroom frame, of course, when you're in hold, okay? The other frame is actually your arm and your body frame, okay? So we're going to show you the arm and the body frame one and why it can be, and why it can be quite important, okay? So I'm going to require Zoe for this one. We're getting up twice tonight, demo time.
God, it's like hard work, this.
I know. Okay, so if, for instance, we use that, go back to that spin for you. Okay, so for a traveling spin, as I go to lead Zoe here,
Can't spin in my slippers.
okay, so as I go to lead Zoe here, I'm going to move her arm, and this is the frame that we're talking about here. Zoe's arm in relationship to her body. So as I move Zoe's arm, her body is going to move at the same time, and therefore we have that lovely relationship between us. Okay? However, not in that way. However, okay, if Zoe doesn't have good frame in her arm, as I go to move her arm, then her arm will move, but her body won't. Okay, or there'll be a delay, and therefore you'll kind of get a bit of shoulder wrenching and all of that type of thing, and the spin won't go very well. If you don't have good frame, ladies, what that'll mean is that on the first occasion the man tries to do the spin, you don't have good frame, and he throws your arm and nothing happens. The next time he tries to do it, he'll try and throw your arm harder because he'll feel that's the best way to lead you, okay? And then the man will think, right, I'm going to throw it really hard, but there's no frame again. And then he'll feel like he's being a terrible lead and all that type of stuff, okay? Later on, we might talk about ladies, we want you to be responsible for your own dancing, but that's a whole different matter. But ladies, it's really important from your perspective to have that frame in your arm. That's just one example about how to have frame when you're doing a spin, for instance, case. You don't want, as they said in Dirty Dancing, spaghetti arms. Okay? And obviously there's ballroom frame as well, and that's a whole 2-hour subject if you really want to get into that, okay, which we're not going to on this occasion. But yeah, so keep good frame wherever you are, and it means that as you move your arms, your body should hopefully move in a relative way as well. Okay, right, let's do that one next. Okay, so what is the first thing you would do if you won the lottery? Mrs. B. Any
I
ideas?
genuinely don't know.
You don't know? Well, I thought about this question earlier, and my thoughts were, as generally, I have 4 children, and I would love to take them all to Disneyland in Florida and do all of the theme parks, but not just take them. The key part, if we had won the lottery, and we're not on about £25 lottery win, we're talking about big lottery win, and that is to buy all of the fast track tickets as well, so you could zip past the majority of the cues. So
I think I'd like to see the 7 wonders of the world. I'm not sure if there are just 7 anymore.
are you on about the modern or the ancient ones?
Ancient
Well, half of them don't exist anymore. At
and
least half.
modern. Ancient history is my thing. But no, like I haven't seen the Taj Mahal in India, or I can't think of any other 7 wonders off the top of my head. But yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Traveling.
Traveling. A bit of traveling. for you.
Australia, never been to Australia. The Golden, what's
Yeah.
that? Ivory Coast.
Something like that. I can't quite remember myself now.
My geography's not the best.
It's not indeed.
Yours isn't much better tonight.
It's not. So Jemima said, Etta and I spent ages folding our bags like this, great for keeping a 3-year-old busy. If it helps, it keeps me busy as well. And I'm a 45-year-old.
Which
So
has the brain of a 3-year-old when it comes to that sort of thing. So.
yeah, there we go. Right, next dancing question for you. We're trying to alternate, if you can see that. Okay, so why should a follower keep time? Isn't that the lead's job?
Gold Coast. I nearly said Gold,
Gold
Coast.
Coast.
I nearly said Gold Coast the first time. Where's the Ivory Coast then?
I don't. Well, Ivory Coast is the country.
Is it?
Yeah, in Africa.
I'm really bad at geography. I'm so sorry. Languages, much better.
Yeah,
Geography,
not so much. No.
UK or international. I think I missed out on those lessons at school somewhere.
Yeah. Did you take geography at GCSE level?
Nope.
No, it shows. So anyway, why should a follower keep time? Isn't that the least job? Do you keep time when you're dancing as a follower then?
I can't not keep time. I hold anybody who dances off time. I just have to hold them back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite know how I do that.
Well, you dance in time and music. That's how you do it.
I just go, yeah, I just hold them back slightly because I fundamentally just can't. I think it's being an ex-tap dancer. I can't just dance offbeat because everything is rhythmical for me.
Yeah. So yeah. So the question is, why should a follower keep time? Isn't that the lead's job? So there's a number of previous podcasts I've done and that type of thing when I talk about what I call my thirds theory. So I'll run it very, very quickly through for you. Okay, I'll try not to let Zoe fall asleep as I'm going through this. But so the thirds theory for me is that it used to be a scenario that the men were in charge. They had to do everything. Blah, blah, blah. If it went wrong, it had to be the man's fault. For me, now I kind of go by the thirds theory, certainly when you get to a certain level. And that is that the men should lead the dance by a third. The music should lead the dance by a third. And the ladies should be embellishing and doing their own thing for about a third of the dance as well. Okay, or not necessarily you're doing it for a third of the dance, but you are in control of a third of the dance. So if you've got a great piece of music, you're both on fire, you can get a, let's say, a 99% dance. If you don't like the track, the lead's not going very well, and the follower isn't following particularly well, you could have a 6% track. So that's why sometimes it can go really well and sometimes not. But ladies, we want you to be as much in charge of the dance as the men, or the leads and the followers, of course. So yeah, so ladies, you are as responsible for keeping time and music as the man is, for me, if not to some degree, maybe even a bit more, because the men are trying to think ahead and think about what comes next too. So yeah, ladies, step up whenever we get back to dancing. Who knows when, but there we go. Right. A couple more questions for you. What is your favourite season and why?
Definitely summer. I like the heat. I like going to the beach. I like barbecues. I like sitting in the sun. And when the sun's shining, I feel happy.
She does. Yeah. Genuinely, when it's raining outside, she's miserable as sin.
Oh, it's horrible today.
So yeah, for me, it's a spring. And the reason for that is I like to think about it's getting slightly warmer. We're out of the winter. And yeah, you've got 6 months theoretically of better weather ahead of you. So yeah, I quite like the spring, although the winter's okay. Autumn is a bit depressing. It's kind of like the summer's ending and going into darkness and all of that. So, so yeah. What is Miss?
So Mary's question is, she hates the use of the word sabotage in dancing because it sounds like an act of aggression. And instead, I think of it as an interjection or an interruption. What word springs to your minds that you would use to describe the action within the dance? So for me, I like to embellish.
That's the word.
What Richard does. I like to do embellishments that fit within the lead but don't destroy the lead, like the word sabotage might indicate. Can you think of any other words?
No, embellishment is absolutely the word
Embellish.
for me.
Decorate.
I mean, it's not saying that, you know, Zoe can't alter what my lead was going to be.
Influence.
Influence.
A bit of an influencer.
Yeah. But for instance, if I let's go again, I'm standing up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I know, terrible. Okay, I need you out of the way. Okay, if I'm doing a lean, okay, then generally the lean that I'm going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to hold on to Zoe with my right hand on her hip,
Do
or
you want me to
whoever I'm
do this
doing.
with you or not?
In a second, I
Oh.
will. Okay, my left hand is going to be behind Zoe's shoulders. Okay, so that's what I'm doing each time because I need to be a stable, solid platform for my partner. Okay, what I now need my partner to do is change that up, and that's not my responsibility. That is the lady's. Enter stage left, Zoe. Okay, so she could do a normal lean. Okay, just simply taking the arm out to the side, or she could do a back bend, for instance, up and down. That's a
Without
lovely-
warming up.
That is a lovely sound. Okay, and there's a variety of other things that Zoe could do as well, which I don't come to mind.
There's not that many.
Oh, you can do the three.
switch arm
Find out for the door.
without the chair and the door coming in the way.
Okay, so there's a variety of things that Zoe could do there, but each time
That's
that
styling.
so each time she was doing it, all I was doing was exactly the same thing. So so that's where we kind of call embellishment, really. So it's not destroying the lead; it's actually within the lead.
But there are
doing lots of
also
things.
times where you can, that was more of a like styling up a move, but there are also times when you can totally change the move. So like when Richard does a comb or something like that, and he's probably thinking he's going to step away, and I might duck under his arm or do something, but it still fits within the lead, and it's not hopefully crucifying his next moves.
Indeed so. Right, a couple more questions. I did promise we wouldn't go over too much today. What's your favourite musical?
Oh, well, I have very fond memories of Starlight Express and Cats from when I was sort of 11 or 12. They're two of the first musicals I ever saw. But oh my goodness, I just love musicals. Phantom of the Opera, anything. Oh, one of the best ones we saw ever was Cabaret with Will Young. He was absolutely phenomenal actor. I've never seen anything like it. He was so brilliant. So yeah, that was one of the most recent ones we saw that was really good. Right?
Very good. Yeah, I've just reopened the male poll, by the way, which is do you wear cheese? Not cheese strings. You could wear cheese strings if you wanted to.
Did you shut the ladies' poll? Did you?
I didn't shut it, no, but I think it did some weird things. But yeah, pants or boxers. So we've reopened that poll. So please do vote. What are you wearing, pants or
What are you
boxers? Not
Mine
asking what you're
polls.
wearing now, but yeah, for myself, what my favourite musicals? Yeah, again, we've seen lots and lots of musicals. Been very, very fortunate. The one that always strikes to my mind, I went to a Catholic school as a child, and we did Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm not religious at all, but that one definitely struck a chord with me at the time because it was just incredibly emotional and how everybody kind of acted at the
Oh,
time.
and the Harry Potter musical.
Oh yeah,
And The Commitments.
The Commitments. Do you know what
See
the?
that in London.
Yeah, for my 21st birthday. Yeah, for my 40th. Zoe took me to we watched The Commitments, which I used to love as a film, and it's probably the most feel-good musical I've ever seen.
Everybody was up at the seats,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Right. Okay. This is the
Last question.
Last question, and this is quite relevant, I think, to our current times. Okay, so have you ever joined in a remote meeting, Zoom, house party, all of that type of thing? Okay,
Microsoft Teams.
Microsoft Teams,
At work.
where they can only see your head and shoulders, and there's 4 options. In your PJ, stroke naked. This is generally a question from somebody. Whilst having breakfast, from your bathroom, stroke toilet, or from your bed. So yeah. So I don't know if you've ever done any of those things. Okay, Mrs. B.
I had my breakfast this morning whilst on Microsoft Teams. But I just didn't have any video.
You have no video. Did you mute yourself, or did they hear you crunching?
I muted and unmuted accordingly because I was hungry.
Hungry. When Zoe gets hungry, she gets hangry as well. It's
Yeah.
not a pleasant sight. It's really not. So yeah. So you ate your breakfast whilst doing that. Yeah. Well, you'll be very pleased to know we have, as you've seen, both got trousers on today as well.
We have full clothes on.
We have
Thank
got full
Crunchy.
clothes on today. So yeah. Dirty Dancing. Do you know what? We went to see Dirty Dancing, and I was desperately disappointed with that. Did I see it? There's a moment that I probably shouldn't have mentioned.
Did we sit down?
Yeah, and they did the floaty stuff and with the water. We definitely saw it together. Wasn't that long ago. That's how good it was, so we can't even remember.
Not
it.
ringing any bells.
So yeah, it wasn't great.
The best dance show I've been to see was Diversity.
Oh yeah.
Apart from like we were the oldest in the crowd, it's full of like young hip hoppers, and then there's me and Richard going yo yo yo.
Yeah.
But that was amazing. They had like a really emotional.
What was
story.
amazing about it, Zoe?
Nothing, Richard.
Yeah, so Ashley might need to work on his body a little bit more.
Yeah. And who was there with? Did we go on our own?
Yeah.
How did we manage that?
We did see other people there from dancing though. Yeah, but that was exceptional. They were exceptional as dancers, and as a show, it was very well put together, and kept it going absolutely.
Pajamas, good one, Laura. Pajamas and breakfast on Teams.
Yeah, and I did see the Sarah's just put there was a thing on Facebook where somebody sellotaped a tea bag to the outside of a mug and had prosecco in it. Yeah, I don't think you need to put the tea bag, just put prosecco in the mug.
No one can see inside a mug.
No, not really. But there you go. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up again for this week. Every week, we absolutely massively appreciate you watching us. We hope you enjoy it. That's the whole point of doing it. We're in lockdown. Even if we come out of lockdown, we're going to be socially distancing for quite a while yet. So yeah, the reason we do these shows each week is just simply to put a smile on your face, nothing more, nothing less than that.
Yeah, and to stay in touch with people, because it feels
Yeah.
like even though we're reading your comments, it does feel like we're having like a mini conversation with everybody all of the time. And just if anybody's got any ideas about what we can do, obviously we've had the Bake Along with Dot, we've got my styling workshop. Richard might, if the men speak up, Richard might be tempted to do the men's styling for all you men at home alone. So drop us a note if you're interested. If there is enough interest, we will look to run it. But yeah, any other creative ideas about what might be fun to do on Facebook?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah,
We're keen to
absolutely.
hear your
Or
thoughts.
Zoom or anything like that. If people wanted to kind of like have a mass Zoom chat, for instance.
I think
we're
my
quite happy to
only
do that.
problem with massive Zoom chats, like, is you can't speak to everyone. I think they work best in
In
up
smaller
to
groups.
6 people.
Okay.
Would be my view, because otherwise you just all sit there looking at each other because nobody can speak. You don't want to talk over someone. So yeah, small groups of Zoom meetings would be good.
But do try and create Zoom meetings yourself. So yeah, that would be good. Right. Just
Happy birthday, Dawn, for yesterday.
Oh yes, absolutely. So just a final thing on the polls. So regarding pants versus boxers, pants wins 60% to 40%. Although I think, in all honesty, I didn't open the polls for long enough to make that work properly.
No.
In regarding to the ladies,
Oh my god.
literally 50-50 G-strings versus fat pants.
Wow.
So there you go. That's the polls for this week. If you have any other interesting office polls you'd like us to ask, please do feel free. We'll be here every Thursday from 8:30. We generally do appreciate anybody that watches, and we hope you enjoy this 40 minutes or so of just laughing around, really, and hopefully putting a smile on your face.
Indeed.
Feel free to share this video to anybody you like. Don't forget the Patreon website, patreon.com/Richard and Zoe.
Oh, and it's Richard's birthday on Monday.
Richard Chandler's birthday, not my
Not
birthday.
Richard. No, sorry, I was just reading it.
That's
So,
okay.
Richard, are you having a Zoom party?
We'll have to wait for 10 seconds now.
For the answer.
There's a delay of about 10 seconds between
Oh.
what we say and actually the comments that we see. So,
Well, I hope you're having a Zoom party to celebrate Richard. Anyway, I hope
so.
you have a lovely birthday. Bye, everyone.
bye. Have a great week.
Love
We'll see you
all
again
lots.
soon.
Take care.